So let's go back to Nick. Nick, why is his Jeep here?
It's been here a few months. It originally got dropped off for some maintenance and an overheating concern. So we pulled all his coilovers out, had them shipped off. They were rebuilt, and then I think we re-sprung it, redid all the seals and the bump stops. Did a bunch of just maintenance stuff, and like I said, it had an overheating concern. Long story short, ended up having a hurt motor, had I think 2 weak holes in it, bad compression in 2 cylinders. So then we started the project of getting a new motor, and then Russell wanted to get a new transmission as well. So it's going in with a 4-liter stroker motor, so 4.6, and then new transmission built by ATS down in Denver.
And it's purple.
Nice and purple, yeah. Yep, their signature color. But it should have a new little walk on life here pretty quick.
So, should we lift it up and see what's underneath?
I can.
What parts?
There's just a lot of stuff kind of hanging from it. I got oil lines and stuff. But
Well, that's fine. I want to show our...
The Y-Link?
Yes.
Okay.
A belly pan?
I don't have a belly pan on it or any skid plates because they're over here in a pile of parts. So I don't have a belly pan in it. I don't have a skid plate in it.
But our
I still
Y-Link
can't
is
show
on
our
there.
Yeah, our Y-Link is on it.
And is that our
What's that? Track bar?
track bar?
Yep.
Okay. And this will be what it looks like under a Jeep with all the guts.
With
out.
everything out of it, yep.
All right. Do you have your light on? So he's going to grab a light. Nick is the king of lights.
Bob, how long ago do you think this was built when you guys originally did it all? It's been a while, right? 3 years. 3 years? 4 years.
So normally, what does a Jeep look like?
So you obviously got a big transmission that takes up this whole space,
Right?
and then your transfer case will sit up here. This is the rear cross member; it stays in place, and then the main belly with the transmission cross member bolts in right here. And then the engine skid that we make bolts to the front of that and stops right about here where these mounts are. So the engine's completely protected.
And this right here is TNT Customs.
Yep, that's our Y-Link. TNT Customs Y-Link. This is the front frame brackets.
And
that
those
all-
are TNTs as
Yep,
well?
these are everything under here is TNT. I think they're fully bolt on. You got to drill and add some holes, but for the most part, fully bolt on. Weld some bungs in. But yeah, every bracket, all the trusses, front and rear. I guess it didn't have front truss, but rear truss is ours.
And
Everything.
Can I ask you a question, Bob? Yep. Why would someone want the Y-Link on their Jeep? What's the benefit?
Drivability. They drive really nice on the highway. That doesn't mean they don't work off-road either, they do. But the majority of the reason is drivability and simplicity of install. I know there's a whole host of folks out there that think you need a 3-link because they flex better. They don't necessarily drive better. And it's a complicated install. This hits all factory mounting points on the axle, or mounting points in the suspension parts that just bolt on. So it's a really simple kit to install. Front, the rear takes a little work. Is I change all the pickup points in the rear end to make the dual triangulated 4-link work correctly, and gain a bunch of ground clearance. If you look at that lower control arm, that mount is like the lowest thing on the axle.
Where at? Oh, here, I'm sorry.
So those are the lowest points in the rear?
Yeah, and those are raised about 2.5 inches.
Yeah, normally they're like right here. The bolt holes, like right here.
So we move all of that up to get the geometry to work right and gain you all the ground clearance. So
And is this the summit
no,
joints?
the one under your head.
This one?
Yes. We
So-
put the flex joints on the chassis. The diff end is all factory bushing, so it's a large clevite down here, and these are whatever Curry thought was a good idea. They look like they're polyurethane, but normally them are the factory clevites as well. So,
And this, keeping it
Bush.
a bushing, like, what is it, poly
they're rubber.
rubber? Keeping it rubber helps
Yeah.
drivability on the road.
Well, that it isolates the road noise, and I mean, perfectly honest, a radius arm, because that's what this is. If it has rigid joints here and here, it'll tear itself apart. So, one of our design features, 20 years ago, coming up on 20 years. We went with a real short upper, so it makes this one's not quite, for all you geometry nerds, it's not quite a true isosceles triangle, but when you have the factory lower control arm mounts, which are down here, then it damn near is an isosceles triangle, equal, all legs. I know there's not a leg here, but there is a leg here from here to here, here to here, and here to here. That's an equal triangle. And with them being rolled in like that, as it articulates, it doesn't bind as much as people say it does. This Jeep will use all 12 inches of coilover. And we can lever the coilover off the back side of the axle. So at axle centerline, we're getting almost 13 inches of travel on a 12-inch coilover, and it uses all of it. No bind. So, you know, the internet's a funny thing. It tells people a bunch of baloney. I'll put this Jeep up against anything that's out there, and we have for years. We've been building these Jeeps for, like I said, 20 years. In January is our 20th anniversary. So there is literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these Jeeps out wheeling every weekend, driving to work on Monday. Russell drives this one from California. This particular trip, he had it shipped via transport because he just didn't have the time to drive it, but he has driven it. He's met me, and
He'll drive it home.
yeah, he'll drive it home.
Yeah.
So, and most of our customers do. We don't get a lot of stuff shipped in. Once we've built them, yes, they come in on trailers when they're broke. But typically, people drive them in. We fix them up and send them back down the road again.
So when do you think you'll have
It should make
the
smoke
engine
tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
End of the day.
Yeah, I should be able to, the reattaching all the engine guts tomorrow morning, put the transmission in tomorrow afternoon, and I should be able to start it, move it around tomorrow afternoon, and then put a bunch of miles on it, as many as we can before.
The beauty of Golan's stroker motors is they run them on the dyno. And we requested, or told the guys at Golan, Chuck I think is his name, the history and the story of this Jeep. He's like, Okay, I got it. So he ran it extra. It's got between 4 and 6 hours on the dyno. So it's completely broke and it's ready to dump oil in it, hit the key, and drive her away. I mean, we will put some miles on it locally just because it's winter and I don't want to see anybody broke down on the side of the road in the wintertime. Not in Wyoming.
No.
So we'll put some miles on it. Russell will get in the middle of the month. He's going to stick around a couple days. He'll put some miles on it locally. As long as we don't have any issues, he'll be headed home for Christmas. So,
Merry Christmas.
yeah, ho ho ho.
Right.
All
And
right.
hopefully the whole point of I mean, it needed a motor. It had 2 dead holes, but any of you that have driven a built TJ or LJ with a 4-liter in it, it's kind of like wanting to start a gun when you start going up a hill. They're great trail motors, but they're not awesome on the highway. So hopefully with a little more oomph under the hood, this thing will be just what he's looking for.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you get back to work. We are going to sign off. January 9th, if you are in Cheyenne, head over to our manufacturing facility. On Trucker Trail, we will be having a Cheyenne Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting for our new building. And then stay tuned to our website, www.tntcustoms.com. I will have a list of all our events for next year that we have pre-planned. We'll be adding more as they come along, and there's going to be a section, Where's Tanner? Kind of like Where's Waldo? So you will know where Tanner will be wheeling all throughout next year. So tomorrow, check out our website. It'll be on the blog. Have a good, actually won't see you guys until 2025. So everybody, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll see you in January.